Hello guys, my name is Oleg and today we're going to be looking at my basic setup of Thinkorswim platform. It's going to be a very step-by-step video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and it's going to be very useful for those of you guys who are just starting off because the actual basic graph as soon as you log in looks like this. And what we will try to do is we will try to get your graphs to look like this. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This platform that you see in front of you is provided by Ameritrade, and it is basically free to use for everyone who actually has a brokerage account with Ameritrade. So the graph that you see in front of you is going to be the actual graph that you'll be able to see as soon as you log into your platform, and you will just go ahead and click on charts, because the first thing you will see is going to be a monitor, and everything you need to do is you just need to go to charts, and then you will be able to see this first setup. So what we will try to do is we'll try to get your graphs to look like, give me 1 second, try to get your graphs to look like this instead of the default settings of being to look like this. So I'll go ahead and minimize this one just a little bit smaller, and the first thing that I will do is I'll go ahead and click on edit studies. This is the first thing that I like to do whenever I'm setting up my graphs, and we'll go ahead and search for RSI. I'll double click on the RSI indicator, and then it will auto-populate it on the lower portion of the screen. So the RSI indicator is going to be right here. This is basically used just to show you whether the stock is in the oversold or overbought state right now. So this is going to be the very first one. The next one is going to be the MACD. So we'll double click on the MACD indicator. So this one is basically showing you it's basically a combination of multiple different streams of information that is combined together, and it shows you where the simple moving average is actually going right now. We'll go ahead and save both of these right now. The next one is going to be, we'll go ahead and do simple moving average. So we'll do SMA. If we click on daily SMA, okay, so for some reason it actually doesn't work this way. So let me close this and do there we go. So simple moving average. Double click on simple moving average, and let's go ahead and add 2 of those right away. So the default ones is going to be with a length of 9 days. So everything we need to do is we'll go ahead and click on setup, and then we will change this date. It's kind of tricky. We'll change this to 180, and then we'll go ahead and delete that 9 at the end. So this is going to be a 180-day SMA line. It's going to be numerical. It's going to be just a line. The next one, so I would love to change the color of this one. I would just do the green one, and then we'll click OK. And then for the next one, we can also double click on this, and then we will do the second one for 20 days. That's perfect. So now we have 4 indicators. There's one more indicator that I personally use very often just because I'm a day trader. It's the VWAP. So VWAP. I'm not going to be going into the depth of explanation of what exactly each one of them mean. So I hope you guys will be able to do either your own research, or I'll actually be making more videos in the future about each one of these indicators and exactly how I use it on a daily basis to trade. So with that being said, all these 5 indicators have been added, so we'll go ahead and click apply, and we'll click OK. So this is what our graph looks like right now. So we have all of our indicators that I personally use. So we have the RSI, we have the MACD indicator, and then we also have our 180-day SMA line and 20-day SMA line. Next thing that we're going to be looking at is we will go into settings. If you're setting up your platform right now, you're actually more than welcome to pause the video right now, go to your setup, and just copy everything that I have in order to make sure that it looks like I showed you guys before. First thing that I would love to do is I do not want to show extended order alert. Sometimes the check mark is there by the default, and it just gets clustered on the actual graph, for me at least, as soon as I set up multiple different alerts. So this is going to be the first layout that I have. Show study, show order, highlighted. This is good. The next one is going to be the price axis. So for this one, yeah, we'll do the auto. So this one will basically make sure that the line is smooth and it's not choppy. So for expansion area, I'm not going to be changing anything, so we'll go ahead and leave it at this. Next one is going to be the time axis. For this one, I also do not change anything except the expansion area. I personally do not enjoy having my graph end at the very end of the screen, so what I do is by increasing my expansion area, I'm expanding this portion of the screen. I know it's kind of hard to see for you guys, but I'll go ahead and close this and show you guys. So for expansion area, it's the space at the end of the graph that allows you to see when the earnings are going to be coming out and just kind of visualize and predict for yourself where the graph is going to look like in the future. So I'll go ahead and minimize this again, and we'll go back into settings, time axis, and we'll go ahead and do, I personally like to do 180. Let's go ahead and see how this one looks. 180 might be a little bit too much, so we'll go ahead and do 120 bars. Apply. Perfect. That's good. This is what I have set out for time axis. Then the next one is going to be the favorite time frames. So Thinkorswim just recently updated this, and you can add as many as you want. I never needed more than 15. So in this case, I'm actually pretty satisfied with these, but we'll go ahead and add one more. So we'll go with an intraday for 10 minutes, and then we will do 180 days. But what this one does, it allows you to expand the area to 180 days, and then you are going to be able to see, and you will be able to see your daily charts with the increments of 10 minutes, which I think is very useful for studying your graphs. So I'll go ahead and click on Add, and then it's going to add it towards the very end. So if you want, you can adjust and move it to the top or move it to the bottom, whichever you want. I personally prefer to have it on the bottom just because it's such a demanding graph. I actually already had the 180-day 5-minute chart set up. This one is a little bit more demanding, and as soon as you open it, it starts to auto-populate on the screen and just keeps going further and further down. And if you don't have a good internet connection, if you don't have a very powerful hardware, your computer is going to struggle actually opening this graph. That's why I tend to keep it on the end. So I will go ahead and actually delete this one, and I'll keep the 180 and 5-minute chart. So next one is going to be the appearance. I personally enjoy having those bars filled, so I'll just click on fill up, and it's going to save all of those bars in here. So we'll go ahead, and I don't think I made any changes on the equities, options, futures, or forex, and then we can leave it at that. So I'll just make sure to go over each one of them. The next one is going to be equities. I do not believe that I made any changes here, nor I made any changes in options, futures, and forex. So these are my settings. So I would like this volume to actually overlap with the graph, just because I feel like it doesn't take away, but just add more volume to the actual graph and to the information that you see on the screen while you're trading. So I'll go ahead and minimize this one again. We'll go ahead and go to settings. We'll go ahead and click on overlap volume, and then apply, and see how our volume just became visible on the actual graph. Okay, so there's one more thing that is left for us to do, guys. We'll go ahead and click on show trades, and we will go ahead and edit the actual extended trading hours. So it's right here, show extended hours trading session. We'll go ahead and click on apply, and then we just showed you where exactly the trades were committed. So we'll click on OK, and we should be able to actually see this populate as soon as we change the 2-day, and let's go to 180-day graph. So as we can tell, we actually got very close to what the previous graph looked like, and we'll go ahead and adjust these ones. So obviously each one of them is adjustable, and then so this is what the graphs look like. You guys can obviously add more graphs right here. It's top right corner of the screen, and you can add as many graphs as you want. And after we are done with the setup, I want you guys to understand that every single time while you are getting out of this, without saving the setup, it's going to actually reset it to default, except the very first graph. If you're opening the second graph on the right hand side, then it's not going to be saved. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to click on setup, and then save workplace as, and then we'll go ahead and say OLX setup, and then we'll save it. So with that being said, every time when you're logging in, if you don't see that the second graph is populating the way you want it to, let's pretend that it's populating it like so. You will need to do all the corrections that you need to again on this graph as well, and then save it again. So with that being said, I tend to not use 3 graphs. I usually use just 2, and this is just fine enough with me. The very last thing that I want you guys to understand is how exactly to use your hotkeys, because I think that's very important while you're swing trading or day trading. You'll just go ahead and go to Setup, and then Application Settings, and then Hotkeys. And right here on the right hand side, you'll be able to see everything that you need to have in order to execute a fast trade. If you're trading on Mac products, on Mac OS, you will need to make sure to scroll down to Active Trader, and then sometimes you would have to make necessary changes to make a commitment of, having a Control B and Control S as your fast buying and selling option. You will just go ahead and double click on the setting that you would want to change. Then you will click on Default, then Buy, then Control. Let's say we want to buy with Control B. We'll unclick the Alt, and then now Control B is going to be the buy option, and then I'll go ahead and change my sell option to the same Control S. So sometimes the hotkeys are already assigned to a particular order type or to a particular command, and we will need to reassign this one, and we'll go ahead and save it with Control Sell. So now we have Control Buy, which is going to be buy at the market price, and then Control Sell to sell at the market price. So we'll go ahead and click on Apply Settings, and I'll go ahead and go to Setup and save this workplace as OLX Setup, and then I'll go ahead and save it again. Perfect. So now all the updates were made. On this note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and go ahead and click on the subscribe button below if you enjoyed it, and please leave a comment in the comment section below about what you guys think about this setup. If you guys want me to make another video about any of the aspects that we talked about today, don't hesitate to let me know. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.